So this shit crazy.
Someone tell DJ Khaled say another one. I CBA, so I'm not even talking. You want my ETA? I ain't left just yet. I'm.
Do you ever wonder why the young men of today very commonly look up to superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, or even influencers like Andrew Tate, or Hamza, or Iman Gadji, or David Goggins? The reason why is because these men contain a trait that all young men desire. And not even just young men, actually, but every single person on planet Earth desires this one thing. And actually, it's one of the most important things required for human, mental health. Dale Carnegie once talked about it in the context of appreciation and a sense of importance. Every single human desires appreciation and to have a sense of importance, some level of status, right, within their lives. Every human desires to feel appreciated. But the thing is, not everyone gets that. Not every human has that sense of importance or that sense of status, and they go their entire lives chasing it. But did you know that it's actually as important to us as food? That's how much of a bare minimum requirement this is. Now, I'm not saying that this is that trait that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. But can you guess what that one trait is? It's got to do with this, and it's very important. And it's specifically for men. Do you have any idea what that one trait is? Among these hard-working, disciplined men. It's called the indomitable spirit of man. The indomitable spirit of man describes the ability for a man to continue regardless of the external pressures or the external environment. No matter what's going on, whatever current thing is going on, he pushes forward and continues for his mission, regardless of what's happening. David Goggins, running in the cold, or Batman, or Bruce Wayne in the movie Dark Knight Rises, where he's thrown in the pit, which is supposedly impossible to escape from, but he's facing odds that are next to nothing, right? And he still figures out a way to get out of the pit. Spider-Man, he didn't have any of his powers, and this is back with the Tobey Maguire movies, where Peter Parker, he didn't have his powers, but he still ran into this burning building to save this young child. Facing all odds where you're very, very likely to die, or it's very, very likely that things are going to fuck up, but you still try, regardless. And that's what separates the highly successful men from the average, complacent ones. If you have this trait of the indomitable man, the spirit of the indomitable man, imagine how far you can push yourself. A lot of people are too scared of death, of making mistakes, of failure. But the thing is, that fear is what you're meant to use to motivate you. That's what motivates Batman. That's what motivates David Goggins, Spider-Man. Maybe Andrew Tate, Hamza, and Iman Gadji. I think them a little less, but these are the main qualities that they have. They have respect. They have respect because they have done feats that are unimaginable. Batman is just a normal human, even though he's a fictional character. But why do kids why is the trend these days of a lot of guys saying, I'm Batman, I'm Batman? Because they desire that respect, that status, that lifestyle of mystery and intrigue, while also being able to accomplish insane feats that is far beyond the average level of human capability. So what's stopping you from reaching those points? Now, obviously, yeah, Batman, Spider-Man, they're fictional creatures, right? Fictional people, fictional characters. But look at David Goggins. A lot of people look at him and think, no, that's too extreme. No, he's sacrificed his health. No this, no that. Look at the amount of respect this man has nowadays because of the discipline, the hard work he's put himself through. If you don't know who David Goggins is, he's this guy who like was really, really fat and lost an insane amount of weight in a very small period of time, and no stretch marks, nothing. It didn't even look like he lost weight. And he did, I think it's called the Iron Man or something. He done like a bunch of challenges, and he did like army training and all of this sort of like hardcore stuff, like proper hardcore, next level, where it like fucks you up mentally. I don't know the full story because I haven't read up on it, but I need to. But if you want to read up on it, David Goggins has his own book about it that he's written. I think it's called The Hard Truth or something. I don't know. Someone will put it in the comments down below. But David Goggins is basically the man of discipline. He's known as the guy that is the most disciplined guy in the world. But the reason he has so much respect is because of this spirit of the indomitable man. Being able to do things to a degree that some others would call insane. Other people would look at this person and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's sitting there thinking, yeah, you think I'm crazy now? People did think he was crazy, but now look at him. Are you willing to push to the extent where people are going to think you're crazy, people are going to think you're insane, but you continue regardless? You continue to the point where it's like failure or death. You're pushing to that point. Say, for example, Usain Bolt, I saw this recently. He got beaten by this runner. I forgot his name, but he got beaten. So he trained every single day until he was literally puking. He was literally like hurling out his insides every single day because that's the level that he was pushing himself to. Purely just pushing himself. Pushing himself to his very, very limits and very, very boundaries. You can't ever figure out what your limits and your boundaries are if you never push them. So he pushed it to its absolute extreme, and guess what? The next race he beat him easily. This isn't about just discipline. This is the next level. This is the indomitable spirit of man. Do you have that within you? Do you have that drive within you where you can go the extra mile? This is not even the extra mile, but the extra 1,000 miles. Because this is a level of what makes or breaks a man. Because most of it is all up here, right? It's a mental game at the end of the day. Usain Bolt, David Goggins, they could have easily given up. Batman, he could have easily given up and be like, nah man, I can't get up that. If only one person has ever been able to do it, and no one knows how they did it, how am I going to do it? And that person was a kid, they're younger than me. No, he didn't think that. He thought, you know what? I'm going to make it out. I'm going to be the next person to make it out. He put himself in that identity and he did it. Spider-Man, when he rushed into that burning building when he didn't have any powers, he didn't think, oh no, I don't have any powers. He thought, there's a kid that's going to die in there if I don't do anything and if I don't act now. So he acted. Are you the type of man that will make those decisions? Do you have the spirit of the indomitable man? Ask yourself that question. How far are you willing to push? How far are you willing to go?
It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable.